Since this will be the last show of the first semester, we decided to take a look back on the golden days of Buck News. What you, the homeroom viewer, will be viewing is some of our most memorable parts throughout the semester. When Tim and I decided to add a little humor to Buck News, that's when the characters Nigel and Roy were created. In this scene, you will be seeing Nigel and I were out collecting cans, trying to make a living for ourselves. Now let's go to it.
Hey, man. All right.
Little did we know that we'd be having a guest appearance by one of the rival can collectors.
Yeah, it was the greatest.
That was
Probably one of the most standout things that I did on the news for a semester was when Cliff and I had Nigel and Roy do the Battle of the Bands thing. The whole week in rehearsal, we didn't really make up a song or anything. We just kind of goofed off. So after about a week of doing nothing, we had to tape, and we didn't have a song. So 15 minutes before we taped, I kind of made up this sloppy little riff on guitar and made those jokeable lyrics up. And when the show aired, it turned out to be a major disaster, and we couldn't really show our face for a couple of days. It was pretty cool. So against my better judgment, let's take another look at Nigel and Roy at the Battle of the Bands.
And now for contestants number 3, the Can Thrashers.
All right. Everybody ready? All right, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. We love cans, we want cans, we need cans, we collect them all day. We love cans, we want cans, recycle them every day.
My all-time favorite was when I did a story on the cap and gowns. The Jostens man wanted to be on TV so bad I had to interview him, and then he turned the interview into a TV commercial. Let's go watch it. I'm here in the cafeteria with Greg Hawkins, the Jostens representatives for the caps and gowns and the announcements. How could a senior order their caps and gowns if they haven't already ordered them?
Okay, we've spent the 17th and 18th ordering caps and gowns, and we had about 200 orders. So there's still a few seniors to order the announcements and caps and gowns. But you have a great opportunity to order yet. It's very simple. You just fill out the form and send your deposit of $25 to the mail, in the mail. My address is on the bottom of the order form and on the bottom of the price list, so it's no problem.
My most memorable moment would have to be one of the many times I was anchoring. We had filmed and was all set to air when Matt changed his story, so the next day I had to refilm the introduction to his story. However, I didn't have the same shirt, so I had to go down to the Student Center while senior pictures were being taken and drape a black cloth over my shoulders. Fortunately, no one noticed. So look closely at this clip and watch for my shirt.
Good morning and welcome to this edition of WBUC News. I'm Adam
Reporting for WBUC News.
Now here's Matt with a story on ACT testing.
Do y'all remember the tail shop? Let's take a look at this clip and see if you notice anything out of the ordinary. Good morning and welcome to Gina and Jen's Tail Shop.
If you've been having a little trouble with your Christmas shopping this year, we've got some suggestions for you.
To start out with, we have this lovely Debbie Gibson tape for only $10.95. So if you're interested, just call 1-800-BUCK-NEWS.
While we go take some of the phone calls, we'll go to Timmy with
Pick
the
up the
wrestling story.
phone!
Let's take some of the phone calls while we see what Matt...
Hello? Here, Mr. Brock is telling to pick up the phone. Or how about by the time we got to our ear, it was still ringing? Gina and I really had a time with that one.
Things like this always happen to me. I almost get through reading my script, and I get tongue-tied on the last two simple words. It took me forever, but by the time I was finished, the whole studio crew was mad at me.
You know what you're going to major in college?
No, not yet. I just can't make up my mind.
Well, have you heard about the ASVAB test?
No, what's that?
The Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery.
Well, how will that help me?
Well, I talked to Dee George Wednesday, the education coordinator for the Department of Defense, about the test. Maybe this will help.
You know, I've been a part of WC since I've been a sophomore. With all the stories that I've done, the most memorable is when I was doing Question of the Week during the month of October. And the way a Question of the Week goes is when you think of your question and try to find the best responses. With all the oohs, ahs, seriously, nah, really, I made a boring question sound fun.
What costume when you were young?
A burrito!
What was your favorite costume when you were young?
Well, I have two of them. Well, the first one was a clown, and the new costume that's my favorite is being a General Assembly employee at the Huntington Mall Theaters.
Okay, now, why don't you give us a little explanation why you chose those two particular ones?
They're so, it's such an honor.
All right. I guess my favorite Buck News article would be the Talking Christmas Tree feature. Somehow the WBUC staff thought it would be a funny little interview, but it turned out to be a humiliating experience for both Cliff and me. Let's go to that clip now. For the first time ever on television, we have an interview with the alleged talking Christmas tree. Let's go talk to the tree now. Mr. Tree, how long have you been talking?
Ever since I was a wee little sapling in the big black forest.
What do you think of the students and teachers here at Barbersville, Mr. Tree?
Oh, they're all a swell bunch of chums, but they all gather too close.
Now, Mr. Tree, you've been seen on Geraldo Rivera's show, and you said you didn't have any girlfriends, but here at the high school, have you seen any chicks you particularly like?
Oh, yeah, I did see one pretty hot little sapling out by the Voag room.
What you didn't realize was that one of the studio crew members, Steve Blatt, was behind the tree shaking it, and that he had a few choice answers for my questions that we couldn't show on TV. We hope you enjoyed looking back on some of the golden clips of Buck News. We'll see you soon next semester.
Bye.
See you later.